Louisville, home of the best scrapper, also home of the best rapper. Flow dapper, here's another chapter. Ride through, attack you, ride away in laughter. This is what I'm after, blowing on that rapper. Perpetrol, keep a bunch to blow. I don't serve it though, murder flow. If it goes down, I'm the first to know. Y'all niggas late, like the Conan show. Overdose, overload, sharp flow, leave him with the open throat. Lewis Keys, cool as Nova Scotia snow. Puff a blunt, poke a hole, nigga, you supposed to know. Lewis Keys, blowing blunts on the open road. Fuck a cop, fuck a speed limit, drive overdose. Keep a bad bitch, hips wide like Oprah's nose. And you know that I'm a fool, my freestyle's wet, I'm floating in the pool. You should pay your tuition, you're going to my school. Principal keys, you niggas getting held back. Fuck them little sacks, you can have your bread back. No refund, well here the G's come. Hit your ass up, leave you with your fucking head crack.
Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, 502. Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, Louisville, Kentucky, 502.
Louisville, Kentucky, 502. That's where I'm from, player, how about you? I'm from the city where the hate is familiar. I'm from the city where the haters will kill ya.
What up, what up, what up, everybody? What's good? It's the late night. I've been waiting to see if anybody comes in, see if anybody watching, anybody actually out there, anybody out there. But we gotta make sure the audio's good. Alright, so we working. What's good, everybody? We back live, man. We back live. Alright, y'all, so just wanted to tap in, man, and give my thoughts on the Pacquiao conspiracy theories that are going around right now. It's crazy, man. You know, like I had said, man, before, I didn't want to see Pacquiao. I didn't want to see him, excuse me, I didn't want to see him go down to an opponent like Yordenis Ugas, man. I didn't want to see him fight a second-tier opponent on short notice. I don't know if we got anybody in here yet, but we're gonna roll with it, man. So, you know, it's crazy because people will say whatever to get views, man. And you know, it's gone a little far now. You know, Manny Pacquiao lost. It was a good fight. Hopefully we're gonna get another one. We don't know yet, but hopefully we'll get another one. But the fact of the matter is, you know, he lost, man, and whether his legs went on him, whether, you know, he overtrained, whether it was Buboy's fault, whether it was Freddie Roach's fault, you know, at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. You can't really, all the conspiracy theories in the world are not going to change what's in the history books. So, with that being said, we can dive in on a few of them. I watched some of the Watergate video from YB. I believe it's YB. And it's a pretty good video, man. You know, he goes in, he says he has sources. I'm not sure how good his sources are, but he says he has sources that said the water was spiked, basically. That Pacquiao got some bad water. I don't know if Justin Fortune is, you know, because I think Justin Fortune will be the guy handling the water. I don't know if Justin Fortune's that shady or his feelings toward Freddie Roach are that bad to where he would sabotage the whole fight by spiking the water. Uh, I just don't I don't believe that one. You know what? Maybe somebody else did it, and they that was already spiked. But I just don't. I don't feel like nobody in Pacquiao's camp. I don't feel like spiked his water, for lack of a better word. I feel like maybe it the cramps had a lot to do with the well overtraining that Pacquiao had, and then the fact that he had a massage about an hour before the fight, which you should never do. But he was training for way too long, in my opinion. He trained for way too long. He started in the Philippines, and he ended up, I think training too late into the camp. I think once they switched the opponents, he was just training too late into the camp, and he came back to haunt him at the end of the day. Man, he came back and got him in the legs, for lack of a better word. And, that goes to show that even a guy like Pacquiao can have a bad night, man. It's boxing. That some people gonna win, somebody's gonna lose. It's boxing. It's what's supposed to happen. Shouts out to whoever's in here, man. We talking about these. Who is that? Wyatt Raps Reacts. What's up, bro? What's good with you, man? Just out here on the late night tip, man. Trying to get back into doing the lives. Talking about some of these conspiracy theories that's going on, bro. It's kind of crazy, man. It's just crazy to me about how people are throwing these. They don't want to accept the fact that he just lost. He lost. Hopefully, we're gonna get another fight, and we can move on from there. But I think he overtrained. I feel the same way. I think he probably overtrained. I definitely think he overtrained. I think since he started out in the Philippines, because you gotta remember, he had already started working out in the Philippines. He wasn't doing everything he was doing in Vegas, but he had already started working out in the Philippines. Even before they had announced the Terrence Crawford possible fight. When they was talking about him fighting, I think it was Conor McGregor and then Ryan Garcia, he was already working out then. And then they announced that the Crawford fight might happen, and he was working out then. He was still in the Philippines, and then they got close to signing and didn't sign. The Spence, a couple of weeks went, quiet on Pacquiao talk, and then the Spence fight was signed. So he was training that whole time, man. You got to think a guy like Pacquiao, it's all legs. It's basketball, it's running, it's hitting the heavy bag. He's putting a lot of wear and tear on his legs, and I think he just did it for too long. And I really don't think it was the overtraining of the legs, but it was that massage that everybody keeps talking about. That I think Justin Fortune brought up that Freddie Roach had ordered a massage for Pacquiao's legs about an hour before the fight. And according to him, if you do that, it kind of locks your muscles up. And I believe him because I got a go-kart. I don't know if y'all see me riding on it in some of the videos, but every time I ride this thing, it vibrates so much. It's really fast, but it vibrates so much when you ride it. It like does something to my legs, and my legs do not feel right for at least 2.5 days after riding that thing. So I only ride it every once in a while, but it's almost like getting a real deep tissue massage, and it just locks. As soon as you get off of it, it locks your legs up. You can't even move. So I can believe that was actually the culprit, and I don't think Freddie Roach will ever. I want to know why. I don't know if he's talked about that. If Freddie Roach has talked about that, I want to know why he. Yeah, man, you ain't got to do that, bro. But I do appreciate that, man. He will come back strong. Though it took the fight with you guys to shake the rust off. I can see that. I can see that being a tune-up fight, man. I can see the fight with you guys as being like, but I wish they would. But that's what I was saying months and months and months in advance. Back before they assigned all these fights, I was saying that you guys was the perfect tune-up fight, and it would have been if he would have signed it was really bad timing all around on Team Pacquiao. They overtrained. They took the wrong fight at the wrong time. You know, it was just a lot of bad decisions. Now, whose fault is all this? And people are blaming it on Freddie. People are saying it was Buboy. People are saying it was Justin Fortune. The whole camp's in ruins at this point, even though it was a setup fight. You know, I feel like it was a setup fight because of the way they signed it. I don't feel like it was a setup fight because of the Watergate or anything. I feel like the way that it shouldn't have been signed that way. It seems like a setup because of the way they signed it so quickly. Like, how did they agree upon the purse and the venue and all this stuff so quickly? When they didn't even try to pursue that in the beginning. They didn't even talk about you guys in the beginning, but somehow at the last minute they got this whole fight signed and put together the exact same. It just didn't make no sense. That's why I felt like it was a setup. But I don't think it was because of the I don't think the Watergate had anything to do with it. But I do feel like they set him up with how they brought the fight about. I think they should have gave Pacquiao at least 2 extra weeks. If they already had the venue and the money and everything, 2 extra weeks would have been nothing to let him adjust to the opponent. They shouldn't have just signed it for the exact same day and the exact same venue. That part is what gets me. But moving on, who's to blame for a fighter like Pacquiao ending up in a situation like that? Is it Justin Fortune, the strength and conditioning coach? Is it Freddie Roach, the actual coach? Is it Buboy, the coach / translator? Me personally, I think it comes down to Freddie Roach being overworked. If you watch that pay-per-view, Freddie Roach was in almost every fight that night. And it's just no way he was 100% focused on the Manny Pacquiao fight. Mark Mayorga, I think I'm saying his name right. I think he was more focused on that fight than he was the Pacquiao fight. I think he was. I think he gave that fight more interest because I think he just felt like Pacquiao would just go do his thing and we could move on to the next one. Now, I think it was mismanagement on Freddie Roach's part. It was mismanagement of the camp on Freddie Roach's part. Rap says, "Yep, the whole team." I mean, you can say the whole team. I don't really put it on Justin Fortune though. Justin Fortune's only man, my voice. I can't get my voice. Justin Fortune's only there to. He's only there to build the fighter up. So I can't really blame it on him. He don't really have a lot of say so in the camp, other than the nutrition and making sure Pacquiao not lifting too much, stuff like that. He doesn't really have a lot of say so. I think it would, if you had to blame somebody, it would have to be Roach and Buboy, because Buboy is the translator and then Roach is the main guy. So if Roach didn't catch that his legs were going out on him a couple of days before the fight, that's really on him. That's why I would blame it, and really I don't think it's all on Freddie Roach either. Freddie Roach can only do so much. Pacquiao has to be vocal about what's going on with him. He's got to let Roach know that there's a problem. So it might have been a problem with the whole camp. It's Roach to focus on too many fighters. I definitely think that was the big no. He just was in too many fights that night. I don't understand why, and then people are saying he was kind of like a mole, like he set Pacquiao up, which might be true because I said before that Freddie Roach has a conflict of interest because he deals with all the promoters. He don't just deal with Bob Earl or Al Heyman or Eddie Hearn. He deals with everybody. So he can't be loyal to Pacquiao and still work with all these other promoters, and some of them don't like Pacquiao. So it's just a lot of weirdness when it comes to Pacquiao at the moment. You don't know. And the only thing I can ever say that Mayweather said about Pacquiao, the only thing I can agree with that he ever said was Pacquiao should have started his own promotional company a long time ago. When he was at the height of his career, he should have been putting on his own fights. He should have been finding some kind of way to put on his own fights. I think we wouldn't. I think he would, if he was putting on his own fights. I think he would have had none of these problems in the later stages of his career. I don't feel like that he would have had to deal with the whole Bob Earl Horn situation. I think he would have got a better shake in the Mayweather fight. It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot of woulda, shoulda, couldas on Pacquiao's account. Reacts has never massage a fighter's legs before the fight though. That's why I want to know why. Justin Fortune said Freddie Roach ordered that, and I would. Freddie Roach has been coaching boxing forever, so you would think there's no way that he would not know that. If anybody would know that, you would think Freddie Roach knows. Why would Freddie Roach order a massage hour before the fight? So I'm trying to figure that part out myself. Massage can mess you up in so many ways. Like I said, man, I already know, man, because just riding that go-kart, man, it kills my legs. I can't even walk after I ride that thing. It's hard. It's hard to explain, but I don't even know why. It just vibrates so much, man. I guess it's the vibration that's loosening the muscles up too much, and I'm already relaxed because I'm sitting down. And then when I go to stand up, it's everything's off. I can't move my legs at all, so I would completely agree. Tris 805, what's good, bro? What's good, man? Hey, after I get off here, man, everybody who's in here, man, go check out my last video, bro. I think I got shadow banned. I think YouTube is they're not showing my videos that much anymore, so I'm gonna have to start doing lives again because they're not showing my videos anymore. So if I want to get my opinions out to the public, I'll probably be going live. So if y'all haven't been seeing my videos, I'll go live so y'all can see it. So y'all can hear what I got to say. Even if it is for a small community. It happens, man. And, I knew it was going to happen if Pacquiao lost. Because just the way the algorithm works, and the way the algorithm works with, when Pacquiao's really popular, Rap Reacts, I can't wait for Manny to come back, have a good night. I appreciate that, man. Rap Reacts, man, he donated $7 to the channel, man. I always say y'all don't have to do that, but he always comes through and drops a little something on your boy. So shouts out to Rap Reacts, man. I really, really appreciate that, bro. You're a real one, man. I forgot my trainers. I forgot what I was saying. Good night to you, bro, man. I appreciate you for stopping by. Yeah, none of them showed up in my list. That's what I was saying. So anyway, like the way the algorithm kind of works is when Manny Pacquiao's really popular and they're showing a lot of his content to different people, and then a channel like mine comes along where I normally only get like a 200, 300 views a video, and then one of them goes to almost 100,000 views. Like overnight, I got I think it was like 60,000 views overnight. So it shoots your channel up into a whole different algorithm, and at the end of the month, every month, the way they pay us and everything, they gotta slow the algorithm down to calculate all those views. So when they slow the algorithm down, if you're not getting enough views to shoot it back up to where it was at that 60, 70,000, they just stop showing your videos to everybody. So it's happened to me a couple of times. It's almost like a channel reset that they do every month. And since I'm a small channel, and unfortunately, yeah, I got 6,000 subscribers, but only about 100 of them are active. Only 100 of them watch every video, and that's just not enough people to get my algorithm going in my favor. I knew that was going to happen. It's why I didn't want to do a lot of content around the other talks about Pacquiao that wasn't really true, like the Terrence Crawford talk and all that stuff. Because I know if I get a few views, then it's not enough to trigger the algorithm. But if I get too many views, then it's gonna completely throw my channel off, and then it's ridiculous, but it's just the way YouTube works, man. I always get a Charlie horse in my throat when I start going live. I don't know why. I'm like 10 identities. He. So anyway, man, I really don't want to blame Freddie Roach or Buboy or anybody for the loss. Justin Fortune, I think it was mismanagement by the whole team. The whole team is kind of to blame for that loss, and I I would have liked to see them stay together and fight through it and be better as a team, but I don't think Justin Fortune is going to be working with them anymore. I don't know who he would get to be his strength and conditioning coach. Perhaps he will still keep working with Pacquiao, but just not work with Roach. So maybe he just wouldn't be doing anything within the wild card gym if Pacquiao does decide to come. Whoever Pacquiao decides to come back and fight. Man, but I appreciate y'all coming through, man. I just wanted to tap in, see if anybody was up, man. It's late night, bored. I think I'm going to start doing this a little bit more. Back to the lives, like I said, since I'm having a little problem with the algorithm. Smash that like button as y'all come through, man. Anything y'all want to talk about while I'm on here? I'm just over chilling, man. Been watching a couple movies, enjoying the weekend, man. Louisville just played. They got them a big win. Go Cards, man. They just took down UCF. It was a thrilling little game, man. So might end up making some videos about that. Let me know what y'all want to talk about, man. Who do y'all feel like messed that fight up the most for Pacquiao? Do y'all feel like it was you feel like it was Buboy's fault? Do you feel like it was Freddie Roach's fault? Or do you feel like Justin Fortune did something in training that kind of hindered Pacquiao? Let's say it's cool. I just got out of work, so listening to this and chilling before driving home. Where you at with it? Street gangs? Where you at with it? You in the good US of A, man? What type of work you do? Alright, we got 5 people in here. What's good with everybody as y'all come in? What's good with y'all, man? Hit that like button as you come through. But once again, like I said, man, who do y'all think? Who do you think ruined that fight for Pacquiao? Do you think that fight was Freddie Roach's fault? The outcome of that fight was Freddie Roach's fault? Was it some of Pacquiao's fault for not doing not being more vocal with the coaches? Was it Buboy's fault, or was it Justin Fortune's fault as a strength and conditioning coach? Melb, Australia. Wow, man. Salute to you, Street Gangs, man. I appreciate you for coming through, bro. That's crazy. All the way in Australia, man. I've never been on an airplane, man. I be wanting to see, different countries and stuff, but I don't know about getting on an airplane, man. Maybe Roach. Uh, the only thing I can say about Roach is you gotta take Freddie Roach with a grain of salt. But what I really don't like, and I agree with you there, is I don't like how many fighters Freddie Roach was training that night. I don't understand, the logic behind that on his part. You would, other than him and Pacquiao's been through this so many times, and he just really felt confident in Pacquiao to beat you guys. But that means that they were overlooking you guys, and they really didn't, which makes a lot of sense because I saw some videos that said they really didn't, they didn't even, I don't think, spar to anybody to mimic you guys, because it was only 2 weeks. I mean, who do you go find to train? It's just not enough time to train. So I really can't blame Freddie Roach for the loss. I can blame Freddie Roach for not having more control over the corner. But for the loss, I would say it was just bad timing. It was real bad timing. They shouldn't have took that fight on such a short notice. I feel like they set Pacquiao up by not giving him extra time, and it was unfair in that way. But I don't like the fact that Freddie Roach was in so many corners that night. That really don't make a lot of sense. Seems like he had a few losses as a trainer with other fights. Yeah, I don't think he won all the fights that night. I think the only one, because I didn't get to watch all of them because I was trying to live stream and watch fights and it wasn't working. So the only one I saw parts of the what is it, Mayorga. I saw parts of his knockout win, and I don't know who else's corner, but I do remember seeing Freddie Roach in at least 3 corners uh that night. So definitely would say Freddie Roach, if nothing else, spread itself way too thin, and perhaps he was just tired and couldn't focus. He couldn't get control of the corner because he was just wore out from doing all those fights. Freddie Roach is, he's got problems. And he's an older guy. Not only does he have health issues, he's an older guy. Let me see. Trish 805 says, yeah, other fighters would have ducked you guys in that situation. I don't understand. Yeah. And I'm not saying that he shouldn't have fought you guys under those circumstances. I think he should have, they should have allowed him at least one more week. Like, they could have pushed that fight out another week. It would have been simple to push it out another week. I mean, all these other fights have been pushed out and rescheduled. So, if they knew Spence couldn't make the fight within a certain time frame, they could at least been were like, okay, well, it would be unfair just to throw both of these guys in there. Let's at least give it two. You would think they would want to, do a little build up to the fight, and so that's why it really didn't sell on pay-per-view, is because there was no build-up to that fight. There was a build-up to the Errol Spence Pacquiao fight. So, and everybody who's saying that, well, Logan Paul did better numbers, or this guy did, Errol Spence did better. Yes, because those guys actually fought the fighters that they were supposed to fight, and they built up to those fights for at least 2 to 3 months in promotion. So, of course, the fight's going to sell. What was built up was Pacquiao Errol Spence. It wasn't, Pacquiao Ugas wasn't built up. It wasn't sold to fans. So only real boxing fans and people who follow this on a day to day even knew those two guys was fighting. Like you need the fair weather fans to be tuning in, and those people who just there for the entertainment and the thrill to be buying those pay-per-views for it to sell. And for that to happen, you got to have at least 2 to 3 months worth of advertisement. It's why they do it for every fight, So I think it was silly on PBC's fight part too, because if they would have built that fight up for at least a month and you guys still would have won, they would have made so much money off of that, because it would have been a whole lot more betting going on uh in that fight, and it would have all been in Pacquiao's favor. So all the people who bet in you guys' favor would have won tremendous amounts of money. So I think it was a f up on everybody's part. But you guys is the big winner in this situation. Street gangs a bit of all the above. Really, they know how Pac feels, so they left it too late. So he won't upset the fans and plays a big part. I mean, that's true. Pacquiao, he's always for the people, so he'll do it just to entertain the people. But his team was supposed to be looking out for his best interests, are supposed to be the ones advocating for their fighters. So that's why I say you can't really just blame it on Freddie Roach. It has to be it was a team loss. Everybody played a role, from his management, Shane Gibson. Everybody played a role in that loss, because they mismanaged Manny Pacquiao in that situation. He should have never been put in a situation like that, and it was written all over his face in the press conference afterwards. Like, you can tell he was thinking, like, man, I got to stop letting these guys just tell me to go ahead and do it. He looked like that. He looked like, man, I gotta stop disagreeing with these guys. I gotta start making some better decisions for myself. Because I mean, I can easily see him beating you guys, and I can still see him beating Spence or Crawford if he was to run across some guys in the boxing ring, but not under these silly circumstances Pacquiao keeps getting put in. He can't win these uphill battles. It doesn't matter that he's 42 years of age. I think he can still beat him at that age. But being 42, a senator, a potential president, and then they're throwing him in these awkward situations. You can't just throw a guy like Pacquiao at 42 with all this other stuff in these awkward situations. What's up, Caps, man? Appreciate you for coming through, bro. I seen you upload and everything, man. Then I uploaded, and I'm like, man, I think I got shadow banned. So I was like, man, I'm just go live and see what everybody been up to. Y'all go check out Captain Full G, man. Captain Full G, he's on the rise, bro. He's doing this thing, man. Let's see what y'all saying. Y'all say agreed, rushed, too rushed. Also a good way to make it seem like Pac isn't such a draw anymore. And that's why I feel like it was a setup. Those are the behind the scene things that I be saying about why I feel like it was a setup. Because they want him out of the way of the champ. They want him out of the way of their championship fight, which is the coup de grace for Top Rank and PBC, which would be for PBC to have Spence with all the belts that he can get, and then have Crawford with all the belts that he has, and have them two guys fight, and everybody make big money. But with Pacquiao in the way, everybody knows this. It just there's too many ifs out there, because Pacquiao can still beat these guys. I'm not doubting that after the you guys fight. I saw a Pacquiao who you could tell something was wrong, in the same way I could tell something was wrong in the Mayweather fight. You could tell something was off. It was definitely not the Pacquiao we normally used to seeing. And even at 42 years of age, I felt like I wasn't seeing a 2-year-old version of Pacquiao. I just felt like something was wrong. But even with there being something being wrong, Pacquiao still gave a look. You guys' face looked worse than Pacquiao's face did at the end of the fight. So even Pacquiao standing in front of him, being flat-footed, short notice, bad camp, bad deal, all this stuff, he still managed to nearly beat you guys with all these obstacles. So nothing in my mind says he couldn't beat you guys in the rematch. Nothing in my mind says he couldn't give Spence or Crawford a good fight. Still, if it happens to happen, man, we got to see if we can get those opportunities still. And I think that there will be a better chance of him fighting Spence at this point, because I think Spence coming off the injury, he's not gonna want to risk going out there and testing the waters against you guys, because you guys might actually beat him, and that would be an ugly loss. But I think he would be more willing to actually fight Pacquiao since Pacquiao's lost. And if he beats Pacquiao, he'll get a big bump because he beat Pacquiao. But if he loses to Pacquiao, he can just say, well, I was injured, so I'm coming off the injury. And it's not a bad loss if you lose to Pacquiao. It's a bad loss losing to you guys. In the same way that Pacquiao lost to you guys. It's not a good look for you guys. Cap says, cool, bro. Man, you always know, bro. I got you, bro. Anytime, man. Street gangs, Asians generally get stronger still in their 40s. We start to get drained late 40s. Pac still got a lot of fighting, and I believe that, man. I don't think Pacquiao. I don't think nothing in that fight made me feel like Pacquiao was over the hill, because I think put it like this: if Pacquiao was to decide, well, hey, I don't want to go after Crawford, I don't want to go after the champions no more, but I will fight Danny Garcia, or I'll fight Sean Porter, or I'll fight Mikey Garcia, or I'll fight even Josh Taylor. I think he could beat Josh Taylor if he made Josh Taylor come up to 147, because I think Josh Taylor's fighting at 140. But I think he would beat all those guys simply because of what I seen him do in the Ugas fight. Ugas is a tough fighter, but I saw a level of toughness I haven't seen in Manny Pacquiao in a while. He showed a level of toughness in that fight, because he could have easily stopped the fight. He could have easily no minds in that fight. He could have easily went down and got knocked out. You saw none of that. You never even saw Pacquiao really hurt. You just saw him get hit a lot and not be able to move out of the way. So nothing in that fight made me feel like Pacquiao's done. Well, that's what I was explaining, that with the same comparison with Pac versus Lucas Matisse, and Pac and Lucas same reach you guys have. Plus fought Lucas flat-footed. He did fight Lucas Matisse flat-footed, and but it was a different type of being flat-footed. His hands were moving a whole lot more, and you can have hand speed being flat-footed as long as you can move when you want to move. The problem, I think, with Pacquiao, because I think his hand speed was there with you guys. I think he just, when he needed to get out of the way, he couldn't get his legs to move fast enough. Whether that was the massage, or whether that was too much running, whether that was Watergate, somebody slipping something. We don't know. We just know that's what was happening. He was landing good shots. Back on you guys, he just couldn't move his legs out of the way not to get hit. So at the end of the day, if he can just move a little bit, like you said, the same way he did with Lucas Matisse, he can fight flat-footed. He just needs to be able to get out of the way when he needs to get out of the way. And yeah, Caps. I mean, it's cramps. You can tell something was wrong. Uh, you can tell something was wrong, man. Even like I don't mind Pacquiao fighting flat-footed or standing there and trading punches, but he just has to be able to move out of the way when he needs to move out of the way, and you can tell he just couldn't move out of the way when he wanted to. He was just taking the punishment. But give Pacquiao kudos for taking the punishment and standing in there, because most fighters wouldn't have stood. They would have thrown in the towel. Or they would have gave it up. They would have gave up. Pacquiao is still a special fighter at 42. It only makes me want to back Pacquiao even more, because I know if he comes in there properly prepared, he's gonna destroy whoever the next person is that he fights, and it's gonna. And what's crazy. I think he's gonna beat the next person so badly. Is just gonna want people to want to see him fight some more. Because I think when Pacquiao gets motivated, overly motivated for something, he over delivers, and I think we in for one of those over deliveries for Pacquiao. Believe me when I say that. I think if whether it's the Ugas rematch, I think we're gonna see him beat Ugas so bad that people are gonna be clamoring for that Errol Spence fight or that Terrence Crawford fight. Or if he just skips that and goes straight and Spence decides to fight Pacquiao first when he comes back, I think you're gonna see him give Spence such a good fight that people are gonna want to see him fight again. It's just how Pacquiao is. Because like I said, I liked what I saw as far as his hand speed and him throwing back. I just didn't like the fact he was getting hit and not moving out of the way. All right, let me see what y'all saying. My nose is stopped up. You guys is in a great spot. He makes any fight unpredictable now. Would love to see him fight all the top guys. And I touched on that in the video the other day when I said, and y'all might not have saw that either because what's going on with YouTube, but I said it is Crawford ducking you guys because I thought it was strap season. You guys is the champion. No diss or shade to Sean Porter, but Sean Porter I think lost to you guys. In my opinion, he lost to you guys. And Sean Porter's not a champion. So you would think, why are these guys going after Sean Porter and not you guys? And on top of that, Errol Spence is not even in the way of you getting that fight. Like you could, as much as these guys say that they can easily beat the next guy, you don't see these guys take the fights where they say they could easily win. Like you hear a lot of people say that Crawford would destroy you guys. Spence would destroy you guys, but neither Spence could have took that fight, and Crawford could have took that fight. So I don't get. I understand. It's a dangerous fight, and I think you guys already beat Crawford in the amateurs. So for Crawford, it's a dangerous fight. But if it's strap season, it makes so much sense for Crawford to take that opportunity while Spence is out of the way. Spence is not in the way of you going to unifying championships with Yordenis Ugas. And if you're that good, you're going to beat them. I mean, all your whole fan base says you're going to beat them. So I don't get this Sean Porter fight. I think the Porter fight's just a gimme fight. It's a chance for Porter to get some money, and it's a chance for Terrence Crawford to get an easy fight, basically. All right, let's move on. Let me see. The massage before the fight, that's a no-no. Man, yeah, we was talking about that a few minutes before you came in, Caps, man. I just want to know why Freddie Roach, what was Freddie Roach has been a box, because Justin Fortune's the one that said Freddie Roach is the one who ordered the massage. And Freddie Roach has been a boxing trainer for years, so it doesn't make sense to me why Freddie Roach would do something he knows is going to hinder his fighter's legs. Like, if you've been a boxing coach for this long, you already know that you can't give a boxer a massage before a fight. You already know their legs are going are gonna probably lock up. So only thing I can think of is Pacquiao might have requested it through Roach, but really it really don't make sense because you would think Roach would have vetoed that and would explain to Pacquiao like, hey, this is gonna happen. Only other thing I can say is Freddie Roach wasn't thinking. He was training so many fighters that he has Parkinson's. He might have had a lapse in thought and just forgot what a massage before a fight could do to a fighter. I don't want to completely blame him, but if he's the one who ordered it, you got to put that loss on Roach because you caused the legs to cramp up. So whoever ordered the massage is the reason that the legs cramped up. Uh, and if Roach ordered it, then it's his fault. That he has to take the blame for that one. He's got to take the hit for that one. And I didn't really think about that at first when I was saying you can't blame Roach, but if he's the one who ordered the massage, you gotta blame Roach. He messed Pacquiao's legs up. Whether he did it intentional or not, I can't really say. If he did it intentionally, but he's been coaching boxers long enough to know that's a no. And you would think your coach, if anybody, would know that's a no. Let's see. Yes, supposed to get the massage after. You would think, you would think that way, man. After my last massage, I felt like I was hanging out for a feeling like I haven't had in years. Hence, why I truly believe that the massage theory. I can believe the massage is what caused it. Uh, I just don't understand why Freddie Roach would, you know, I I don't get why Freddie Roach would do that. It, at first thought you would think the only reason he would do that is because he intentionally wanted Pacquiao to lose. I mean, that would be the first thing because he already knows what's going to happen to his legs. But why would Pacquiao agree to have his legs massaged? Is the question you got to ask. Because at the end of the day, Pacquiao he has to know that what a massage does to your legs too. So a lot of questions to be asked. Why would Pacquiao actually allow that to happen? Unless he requested it himself. That's really the question we got to answer because he doesn't have to have it done. He could have declined it. Like, hey, no, I know what's going to happen if I get this. So why would he actually allow them to massage his legs? Uh, Trish says facts. Appreciate that. Caps just waiting on the announcement for Pac to come to OME back. Plus, uh see if you guys keeps his word for the rematch. With cramps, Pac through over 800 punches. Spence only around 700. And yeah, that's another. I'm not questioning his work rate. I just feel like I liked everything I saw in the fight, except the fact he wasn't moving when you guys was throwing that looping punch. And that's the only thing that was really landing for you guys. You guys really wasn't doing a lot of damage with everything else. It was just that looping punch that Pacquiao couldn't get out of the way of. When I saw it land them first 3 or 4 times, I knew something was wrong because he wasn't moving. You would normally see Pacquiao either step to the side or be ducking those looping punches. That's his normal defense for looping punches. And he didn't do that at all. He did it once in the first round, I think, where he ducked the first looping punch that you guys threw. And after that, every last one of them landed flush. Bow, bow. They were sounding off. But that was the only punch that you guys was really landing in the fight. So it lets me know that, Spence and Crawford don't have that weapon in their book. So it would take for Pacquiao to have such a bad night, I think, for them to do for them to do Pacquiao like you guys did, that it's almost an impossibility for Pacquiao to have that bad of a night ever again. For him to get hit with that many looping punches, I don't ever think that would. If he gets back in a boxing ring, I don't think that would ever happen again. Like I said, I think he's going to be so motivated and so prepared, and he's going to have his champ in fully 100% sound this time around. And I think we might actually see Buboy take the lead from here on out. I think it's what we're gonna see from now on. A young Spence still could not throw 800 punches. Yes, because Spence is real flat-footed. Like I said, you can have hand speed, you can throw a lot of punches, but what really adds to the hand speed is being able to throw punches while moving. And flat-footed fighters really can't do that, and that's Pacquiao's specialty. Which is why what hurt him in the Ugas fight is because he wasn't throwing those punches from the word. He didn't have the word angle punches. You know, that's the one thing that was missing from that fight. Because when guys throw looping punches at Pacquiao, he usually ducks and then throws a punch from a word angle, and we just didn't get that. EJ says, "You guys Pacquiao rematch is official." Where you get that news from, EJ, man? Who let you know that it was official already? Although we did hear you guys say that he would fight Pacquiao. He said that he would give Pacquiao his rematch, and Pacquiao kind of confirmed that all I got to do is go to Al and have him make the fight. So I think it might already be official. I don't think there's an official word on it yet. Because, like I said, we might not see him fight either one. He might say, "Hey, I don't want to fight a champion." He might say, "Hey, I want to fight Danny. I want to fight Mikey. I'll fight Josh Taylor at a catch weight. Let me go fight one of the chart. I would like to see him get a big bag of money if this is going to be his last fight. Hell, we might even get the Manny Pacquiao 2 fight. Maybe he can negotiate down, maybe he can negotiate something to where he takes a smaller percentage to get Floyd Mayweather back in the ring. Because I did see an article about a week ago that was suggesting that they were actually talking about fighting each other again. Street Games, he is asking if it's no, it's not official yet. Pacquiao, you guys rematch is official. Okay, I see the question mark now. I didn't pay attention to that. No, it's not official. I mean, both guys have agreed upon it, but nothing's official till the contracts are signed. We can't say it's official till the contracts are signed, especially now with everything going on in the world, man. As many fights has been stopped by the Verona, and you guys might fall down and hurt his eye before 2 weeks before the fight. Manny Pacquiao might end up fighting the donkey or something. We just don't know. Anything can happen nowadays. Even though I think Pacquiao knocked the donkey out in 2 rounds, but I'm just saying, you never know, man. Nowadays, you never know. EJ, I think Pac should retire, but if you want one more, then take Mikey Garcia. You guys rematch. What y'all think? Or you guys rematch? I don't. He don't get nothing from fighting Mikey. I think Mikey would give him a tough fight because it would be Mikey's biggest fight of his career. The problem I have with him fighting them lower tier guys is if he loses, it just makes him look worse. If he, the difference with him fighting you guys now is that you guys actually beat him once. So if he wins, then he gets to avenge that loss. Me personally, I would much rather see him fight Errol Spence. I would love to see Errol Spence be a man of his word. Say, hey, I couldn't fight Pacquiao in the first time, I had an injury, but I'm gonna be a man of my word, and I'm gonna go ahead and make Pacquiao my first opponent coming back. I don't care if he don't have a belt. I just want to give the fans what they want. And I think that would be the most commendable thing to do. I think the fans, me as a fan, like, man, almost as bad as I felt cheated after the Mayweather fight. Because I paid the $100 for that Mayweather fight, and I felt like, uh, I almost felt like everybody who set that fight up knew Pacquiao was hurt going into it, and there was nothing stopping them from rescheduling that fight and allowing Pacquiao the couple weeks he needed to heal, and then giving the fans the real fight of the century, because that wasn't the real fight of the century. It was a one-sided fight, which which is crazy because just like this Ugas fight, Pacquiao still put up a heck of a fight. He still won in my mind, but I don't like the fact that it was lopsided. I don't like the fact that they didn't let him have his cortisone shot, but they let Mayweather have the cortisone shot. I feel cheated off that Ugas fight because they didn't set it up the right way. And if they set it up the right way, we would have got a even better fight, I think. And I feel cheated because I didn't get the Errol Spence fight, period. So I feel like if Errol Spence is really about the fans and really about giving the fans what they want and making the best fights, he should be a man and make Manny Pacquiao his first fight back. Win or lose for Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? Win or lose for Pacquiao. And but if that don't happen, which I doubt that happens, I doubt Spence. I think Spence got the perfect opportunity to duck what could have been the biggest disaster of his career, and I don't think he's gonna make that mistake again. So I think we'll probably get the Ugas rematch, and like I said earlier, I think you're gonna see a version of Pacquiao that looks so good and is gonna beat Ugas so badly that you're never gonna see Spence and Crawford ever want to get in the boxing ring with the guy. And I think that's ultimately going to end the career of Pacquiao, because nobody's going to want to fight him at that point. It's a double-edged sword for Pacquiao, man. Because if he wins, they're going to duck him, and if he loses, there's no need to fight him. So I think you guys is his perfect opportunity to come back, get him a belt, and say I retired as one of the oldest welterweight champions in the world. Because I think if he comes back and beats you guys, there's no way Errol Spence or Terrence Crawford are ever gonna get in the boxing ring with him. They're already scared of him now. If he does what I feel like he's gonna do to you guys in the rematch, it's never gonna happen. They'll find a way to say we don't need to fight this guy or something. Something else will come up, and it just won't happen. And they'll wait Pacquiao out, or they'll end up just fighting each other in the meantime. But I truly believe we're never going to see Pacquiao and Spence in a ring together. I don't think I don't even think that they intended for that fight to go off from the beginning. I think it was. I don't even think I think they knew from the beginning that fight wasn't gonna happen. Almost to that point. Throw that in there as one of the new theories. I said it was a setup, man. It was a setup from the beginning, man. It makes me sick almost as a boxing fan. This is what goes on in the sport, but it is what it is. We can't really change it. All we can do is make boxing talk, man, and try to put our version of the truth out there. Y'all got any last words before I get off here, man? I've been rambling for over an hour. I think I'm gonna start doing this nightly again, man, in between trying to make a few videos, since the algorithm definitely is not on my side at the moment. Anything else y'all want to add to the convo, man, before I get out of here? What y'all want the next topic to be? If I get on tomorrow, what y'all want to talk about? Also, y'all go check out my my last 2 videos, man. I don't know how many people saw them, but you know, the algorithm don't love me right now, man. Go check out my last 2 videos. Spence versus Ortiz. Is that Victor Ortiz or the other Ortiz? I haven't seen the other Ortiz. I definitely think Spence would beat Victor Ortiz. I heard it might happen. What do you think about that fight? If that's his first fight back, I mean, it's a good tune-up fight for him to come back. But I don't know. It depends on where Spence wants to go from her, because it could end up bad for him. You know, if his eyes not in the best, really not in the best condition, and he comes back and loses to a lower tier guy, Virgil Ortiz, then it's not gonna look good on Spence's part. But if he comes back and beats a guy like Virgil Ortiz, because I've heard about Virgil Ortiz a lot. I haven't seen him fight live, so but I have heard about him a lot. It just depends, man. It depends. I really don't think we're gonna see Spence square up with Pacquiao at all. I'm really not sure if we're ever gonna get that Spence Crawford fight now, man. Seeing that, Crawford and Bob are not even willing to, because they would have got that Ugas fight cheap, man. I think they probably got that Ugas fight cheaper than they would have got the Sean Porter fight. So I don't understand why they're willing to work with Sean Porter, but they're not willing to work with Yordenis Ugas. Boxing's a weird sport, man. Hey, here's another question, man. Hey, do I need to make a character to get popular on YouTube? Do I need to be like, what's his name? Do I need to start acting like Showbiz? I need to give me a cape. I gotta give me a cape, act like I'm Superman on my videos. Would that make y'all watch them? Would y'all watch more of my videos if I did that? I'm just asking. I'm just joking, man. I'm just joking. Alright, man. I think I'm gonna get back on here tomorrow, man. If y'all go, anybody ain't hit the like button so far, man, go ahead and smash that like button for me. We got about 80 views. Appreciate y'all for coming through, man. I needed that. And I definitely see you guys. Good. I definitely see you guys tomorrow, man. Y'all take it easy. Have a good night. Stay safe and all that good stuff. We are out of here.
Louisville, home of the best scrapper. Also, home of the best rapper. Flow dapper, here's another chapter. Ride through, attack you, ride away your laughter. This is what I'm after, blowing on that rapper. Purple Dro, keep a bunch to blow. I don't serve it though, murder flow. If it goes down, I'm the first to know. Y'all niggas late, like the Conan show. Overdose, overload, sharp flow, leave him with the open throat. Lewis Keys, cool as Nova Scotia snow. Puff a blunt, poke a hole, nigga, you supposed to know. Lewis Keys, blowing blunts on the open road. Fuck a cop, fuck a speed limit, drive overdose. Keep a bad bitch, hips wide like Oprah's nose. And you know that I'm a fool, my freestyle's wet, I'm floating in the pool. You should pay your tuition, you're going to my school. Principal keys, you niggas getting held back.